South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
The best part of the nighttime racing season at Los Alamitos is here, as the best quarter horses in the nation set to compete in our biggest race, like the Los Alamitos Super Derby, the Champion of Champions, and the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Plus, the best bets in night racing continue, like our early and late pick fours, always with the best pools at night. And of course, our Pick 6 promos on Sunday nights. The best part of the year is here at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Wednesday as we start our coverage and our march to the Breeders' Cup, the World Championship, the 43rd edition of the Breeders' Cup that will happen this weekend. And we got plenty to do here at the South Point, inviting you to join us for all the activities we have, beginning with the Thursday Race Day Las Vegas Breeders' Cup special show. That'll be right here on YouTube and YouTube only. It'll only be on YouTube here at 3 p.m. Pacific time. The Race Day Las Vegas Breeders' Cup Special will highlight our handicappers from the morning, Jonathan Hardoon, John Lindo, as well as Chris Andrews, the sports director that loves horse racing. Vinny Miliulo, the line maker here, he loves horse racing. And we got Dwayne Colucci. Now, Dwayne Colucci, of course, will be on the show today, but will also be back tomorrow for handicapping the races, the Breeders' Cup as well. And then, of course, we've got Alex White. She's going to give us a lady's perspective of the thing. And who else might show up? Well, we don't know. You'll have to wait and see. That's tomorrow at 3 o'clock, only on the YouTube streaming network where you're watching us right now, if you are. Of course, we come from the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas Boulevard, your gaming capital on Las Vegas Boulevard. And, of course, at the YouTube streaming network as well. So we welcome you to the show, and we welcome all of you listening to us on our local radio station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. For those of you listening on the radio, we will not be simulcasting the show tomorrow afternoon on the radio. It will only be on the YouTube streaming network. We also want to welcome all of those listening to us on our many websites, the Race Day websites, and of course your devices, your iPhone, Android, and Google phones with the apps that you can get for either the radio station or YouTube, and of course anywhere you get your podcasting. Okay, we are now just one day and hours away until we start the Breeders' Cup, this unbelievable Breeders' Cup. They drew the post positions on Monday, and as it turns out, many of the Breeders' Cup races are going to be fantastic races. There's really going to be a lot of activity going on as far as the gambling on these races. But the big race, of course, was the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, the Breeders' Cup Classic, of course, is the main event, although it won't be the last race in the Breeders' Cup because of TV considerations, but it will be part of the Breeders' Cup and, of course, the centerpiece of it. In case you're wondering why my cap says 2000 on it, it's because this was the Breeders' Cup cap they gave away in the year 2000, the turn of the century. And so I wore it today to make a statement for the Breeders' Cup that I think we're 25 years into this new century that we're in, but I think that the Breeders' Cup Classic is so far the race of the century. It took a big blow, though, in the last 24 to 48 hours. Sovereignty, who, in case you don't know, he flew in about 5 days ago now, maybe, has settled into Del Mar beautifully, was out there galloping, and a picture of a striking silhouette that he posed on the racetrack. But Monday night into Tuesday morning, he pitched a fever. Now, everybody converged on Bill Mott in the Bill Mott stable, and of course, we got him going as far as what was going on there. And it seems that Sovereignty pitched the fever, he says, from the shipping. It was a shipping fever, I guess is what he called it. Anyhow, they were taking tests and administering whatever they could to help him break the fever. And he said that they would be monitoring his condition for the next 24 hours. That came this morning. And so this morning, it was made official. Sovereignty will scratch from the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was pretty much a blow to everybody, but it was real simple. When they showed up at Bill Mott's stable this morning, Mott said, "We're going to scratch." That was his first words out of his mouth to all of the reporters out there. We're going to scratch. He said he developed a fever yesterday afternoon. His temperature shot up again. We retreated him. They treated him again. And that basically made their decision. They said that was it. It's over. He's going to be scratched to pitch the fever. So Sovereignty is out of the Breeders' Cup Classic. But he was, of course, the centerpiece horse and the morning line favorite at 6-5. But it is a very deep and competitive field left to go in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And we'll get to that a little bit later. But Sovereignty has been scratched, the morning line favorite in the Breeders' Cup Classic this morning. It's official. There's a few other Breeders' Cup scratches as well. In the Juvenile Turf Sprint, the 14 horse has been scratched. Number 14 is scratched out of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, and that's a Friday race. In the Juvenile, which is also a Friday race, the 5 horse Civil Liberty has been withdrawn. So number 5 Civil Liberty is out of the Juvenile. And in the Filly Mare Sprint, number 5 Fille Blanche has also been scratched. Number 5 Fille Blanche, a scratch in the Filly Mare Sprint. So we have had so far 4 scratches out of the Breeders' Cup races, the 14 Breeders' Cup races, since they drew the races on Monday. Okay? So that so far is what's going on. Now we'll take a quick look at a few other items in news before we get to our first break. We have Jonathan Hardoon with us. We have Rich Eng, of course, John Lindo, and Jerry J. They will be with us on today's show, giving us, we'll try to look for some winners out there for in racing today. And then, of course, we'll go over some of the particulars and previews and reviews of the Breeders' Cup and the Breeders' Cup draw with our handicappers. Jockey Willie Martinez has retired. He ended his career, a 36-year riding career, and his final race was a win dramatically in the Best of Ohio Series on a horse called Houday. That happened over the weekend. 3,723 lifetime victories for Willie Martinez, and his career win by a nose in a victory at Mahoning Valley Racecourse in the Best of Ohio Series. Keeneland Racecourse that just closed up over the weekend. The fall meet had a record handle. The handle was up 3%, an increase over 2024, and the on-track handle was up 4% over 2024. So they had a very successful meeting there at Keeneland. Top jockey was Ired Ortiz Jr. With 25 wins on the meet. This was the second time he won the Keeneland meet. Ired Ortiz Jr., the winner there for the jockeys. A note for John Velasquez, Hall of Famer John Velasquez had 13 stakes wins. 13 stakes wins at the Keeneland meeting. That's unbelievable. 13 stakes wins there. He ties Pat Day for also having 13 stakes wins. So they are tied at 13 apiece. But John Velasquez, what a meet he had at Keeneland. Brad Cox got the training title. He did it on the closing day with 2 wins on closing day to get 12 overall. So he wins the training title outright. And as far as the owners, Spendthrift, who won 6 important races, Spendthrift won as the owner there. All righty. And one quick note about the Breeders' Cup. I was going through all of the records and all that stuff over the last couple of days. Mike Smith, 59. This makes me feel good. An old guy like me makes me feel good. Mike Smith, 59-year-old Mike Smith, has an opportunity to break the record for the oldest winning jockey in the Breeders' Cup. That is currently held by Bill Shoemaker, who in dramatic fashion won the 1986 Breeders' Cup Classic with Ferdinand, beating Ali Sheba, 2 Derby winners coming down to the wire in that Breeders' Cup Classic that year. But Bill Shoemaker won that race in 1986 at 56 years old. Now, Mike Smith, who started riding and winning races in the Breeders' Cup in 1992, has amassed 27 Breeders' Cup wins over his career. He is the leader in that category. Hasn't won a Breeders' Cup race since 2017, but he's got 5 Breeders' Cup mounts in the next 2 days in the Breeders' Cup on Friday and Saturday. If he wins any one of those races, he will become then the record holder as the oldest jockey to win a Breeders' Cup race. Now, he rides Bottle of Rouge in the 2-year-old filly race. He rides Nevada Beach in the Breeders' Cup Classic, a horse that I think has a good long shot chance to get in the money there, maybe even win it. Bob Baffert's his trainer. He will be riding Copion for Dick Mandela in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. He'll also ride Tamara in the Filly Mare Sprint, and he will also ride a long shot called We'll Take It in the Dirt Mile. So we'll be taking a look at Mike Smith, see if he can establish a new record there. All righty. Well, we got a lot to do, so I want to go to our first break, and when we come back, we'll just start delving into some of this Breeders' Cup stuff as well. Remember all the great things that are happening here now. We got the special show, 3 o'clock on Thursday. Of course, the Breeders' Cup seminar here at the South Point in the Grandview Lounge on Friday night after the first of the Breeders' Cup juvenile races for the Stars of the Future. And, of course, the big Breeders' Cup party on Saturday in the Grand Ballroom. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
The best part of the nighttime racing season at Los Alamitos is here, as the best quarter horses in the nation set to compete in our biggest race, like the Los Alamitos Super Derby, the Champion of Champions, and the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity. Plus, the best bets in night racing continue, like our early and late pick 4s, always with the best pools at night. And of course, our Pick 6 promos on Sunday nights. The best part of the year is here at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. And again, we want to remind you that in addition to the Thursday show tomorrow for the Breeders' Cup, on Friday we'll be doing the Breeders' Cup seminar here in the Grandview Lounge adjacent to the race book. Right after the races, the Breeders' Cup Stars of the Future series is over on Friday at 6 p.m. in the Grandview Lounge with the handicappers John Lindo and Jonathan Ardoon. And then, of course, Friday that day, as well as Saturday, the Grand Ballroom will be open both days. It'll be open Friday and Saturday for viewing of the Breeders' Cup. It's a big, beautiful Grand Ballroom. It's got huge screen TVs, like a movie theater, for goodness sakes. And they've got a band of a rack of betting windows that you'll be able to wager at, so you won't get shut out. If you're a kiosk player, they've got kiosks as well, betting kiosks. Big banquet tables. I mean, they're huge, enough to sit 12 people and put out all of your racing forms, your betting paraphernalia, and, of course, food and beverage discounts, so you don't spend all your money just eating and drinking. And they'll have a prize giveaways on Saturday in the Grand Ballroom. And myself and Jonathan and John will be there at our table, gambling with you, playing the races, trying to hit those races that we're talking about. And certainly we'd love to see you come out. We're inviting you to come out and join us for the big party, the big celebration of the America's championship races. And stop by our table and say hi. We'd love to see the people who see us every day. So you can do that here at the South Point, and everything is free except, of course, for the food and drinks and your bets, and the food and drinks are minimal, and whatever you want to bet. And you start out by parking your car free in the parking lot. Okay? It's all free. Come on down. We'll have a good time. All righty. Now let's get started with today's racing menu. The racetracks, of course, first post times are broadcast on the show each and every day. Reflect that of the Pacific time zone. You know that. So remember that if you're in the Pacific time zone, no problem. If you're not, then adjust from whatever time zone you're in to the Pacific time zone. This way you won't miss anything, like I was mom and dad, okay? We begin the racing menu today with Mahoning Valley Racecourse. Mahoning Valley has a first post time of 9:15. They have a pick six jackpot carryover of $7,213. First post time Mahoning Valley is at 9:15. Next comes Parks Racing. Parks Racing has a first post time of 9:40 today, and Parks Racing has a pick five jackpot carryover starting at $342,541. $342,541. Pick five jackpot carryover at Parks. First post time is at 9:40. Following that, we go to Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. Churchill, of course, opened up on Sunday with their Stars of Tomorrow. Today, they get down to the nitty-gritty of racing. The lunch pail group of horses racing today at Churchill Downs. Their first post time is 10 a.m. with a pick six jackpot carryover from Sunday of $6,229. First post time at Churchill is at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. at Churchill. Finger Lakes, upstate New York. Their first post time is 10:15. 10:15 at Finger Lakes. And then following that comes Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Horseshoe, Indianapolis has a first post time of 11:10. 11:10 at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Then we have a couple of tracks that have a 2:45 first post. Delta Downs, first post time is at 2:45, as well as Penn National. Their first post time is also at 2:45 today for their racing card. Penn National has a super high five jackpot carryover of $866, okay? And then we wrap it up with Charlestown. Charlestown has a pick six jackpot carryover of $58,587, and their first post time at Charlestown is at 4 p.m. Okay, that's your racing menu for today, but it's going to get a lot crazier as the week goes on, that's for sure. We're going to go to Jonathan Hardoon right now, who is packed and ready to get on a plane and get on out here for the seminar and the racing shows and all that good stuff. So, Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How's the weather there in New York?
It's a little cool, but that's the weather you get this time of year. It's fine. As long as there's no rain or snow, we're good. All
right. Well, taking a look at the Breeders' Cup overall, we've got contenders that are bred in a record 13 countries for this 42nd running. There, of course, are 14 stakes races. Purse values and awards are over $34 million up for grabs. Del Mar is going to host this thing for the fourth time. They had a record-setting edition of this Breeders' Cup last year. New global wagering benchmark of $203.7 million on the event. Countries are represented: Argentina, Australia, Canada, Chile, France, Germany, Great Britain, Ireland, Japan, Peru, South Africa, the United States, and Uruguay. That covers over 5 continents that include Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, and South America. And there are 55 of the entrants are international contenders. Total 177 horses were entered. 207 entry overall, but some of them were cross-entered. So it was 177 individual horses. And 7 previous winners are going to try to do it again. Citizen Bull, Fierceness, Full Serrano, Rebels Romance, Sierra Leone, Straight No Chaser, and White Barrio. And it's going to be one heck of a Breeders' Cup, that's for sure.
And one of the stars of the day and of the show will not be running, unfortunately.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Your thoughts about that?
Well, what could you do? The good news is I give Bill Mott a lot of credit for, scratching him early. They could have dragged us along till Friday or Saturday morning and then scratched him. Well, at least they did the right thing, I think, and they scratched him. I don't know. The horse spiked a fever. Is that a reason to scratch? I don't know. Everyone. Listen, Mott will always side on the horses. He's very cautious. He's very conservative like that, and he doesn't take any chances. And when you have one of the best horses in the world, I guess you try to do the right thing by him, and that's what they're doing. A lot of owners probably would have pressured the trainer into trying to run or waiting till the last possible minute before they scratched, but that's not the case. These people aren't in the game for the money. They're in the game for the love of the horses.
Well, he was the 6-5 was installed, the 6-5 morning line favorite in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So with him out, there'll be more money being spread across a lot of other horses. Now, I know that he was the centerpiece. He was the horse that everybody wanted to see. He had a lot on the line. He wins the race. He's horse of the year, no doubt. But even with his scratching, this still represents a deep, competitive, and talented field of horses, both 3-year-olds clashing with the older horses. I know it's a bit disappointing, but I still think it's, so far we've only been into this century 25 years, but I think it's still the race of the century.
Well, it's certainly a good race, and it certainly becomes a much better betting race now, because if unless you were trying to beat this horse, because if you were trying to beat him with, let's say, an 8-to-1 shot or a 10-to-1 shot, well, now you're going to get a much shorter price. So, but it makes it certainly, I think, a much more interesting race, and it obviously is a wide open betting event now. And it is what it is. You got to play the cards they deal you, and those are the cards they dealt us.
Well, all I can say is from the bettor's point of view, you're absolutely right. But from the historic point of view, as far as the races and going down in history, I think it's going to be one hell of a race, no matter who wins. But I can tell you one thing right now. I doubt if the winner is going to pay $4 and change. I can guarantee that.
No, I agree with you, Ralph. There is no $4 winner in this year's Classic.
As a matter of fact, making Sovereignty the 6-5 favorite, I thought was a bit strong, too, because of the depth of the field. Now, I figured he'd be the favorite, but I thought he'd be around a 2-to-1 favorite. Yeah.
I thought 8-5, 2-to-1 personally. I agree with you. Yeah.
Looking at some of the other favorites that'll be going on between Friday and Saturday, Ted Noffi is they've listed him at 4-5 in the juvenile as the big favorite there.
Some of these morning lines are real short, and Ted Noffi's going up against Baffert, so it's not so easy. Listen, he looks a little better than the rest, but we're going to discuss all those races
later on. I know.
In due time.
Yes, but now Baffert's got that $3 million horse, right? Brant in there?
Yeah, he's got Brant in there, who's stretching out to 2 turns for the first time, and he's by gun runner, so he should have no problems handling the 2 turns. Right. He has some funny action. People that watch him run, they say he has a funny way of going. Well, he's got a very fast way of going also, so it may be funny looking, but he's a fast horse.
Well, and not only that, but you're playing in Baffert's backyard at Del Mar, and that's got to say something there. But Ted Noffi, boy, he comes in with a great record, that's for sure. Another 6-5 favorite is Precise, and this will go in the juvenile fillies turf. I don't know much about that horse.
Me neither. He's a European invader. Listen, they made him 6-5. Obviously, he has some credentials, so we're going to see it. That's the problem with a lot of these turf races, Ralph. You're dealing with Europeans, and it's not like it's 1 or 2 Europeans. You got half the field are Europeans, so you always get some surprises in those races.
And
someone slips through the cracks.
Right, and not to mention the fact that those juvenile races usually wind up, especially on the turf, with some good prices, that's for sure. Another morning line favorite, this in the juvenile turf sprint, is True Love. And, I don't know much about that horse either.
No, and he's 7-2. It's Aiden O'Brien, so obviously always dangerous. The horse has 6 lifetime starts and earned close to $500,000.
Yeah.
But you have some horses from this country in there that are good. Wesley Ward sends out a horse. George Weaver. This is what it's supposed to be. You got Charles Appleby has a couple of horses.
Right.
So, these are no easy races. Not only that, you get a full field of 14 for the most part, or 12 anyway, going 5 furlongs on that turf course. As it was, if you remembered, throughout the summer at Del Mar, speed for the most part on those sprint turf races. And a lot of these European horses come from behind. So they're challenging races, to say the least.
Gstad, or Gestad, however you want to pronounce it, 9-5 favorite in the juvenile turf. We have Sweet Azteca. She's 2-1 morning line favorite in the Filly Mare Sprint. Motorious, 3-time winner of the Grade 3 Green Flash. This is the horse at Del Mar that's won this Green Flash 3 times. Is the lukewarm favorite in the turf sprint at 7-2. You have Seismic Beauty, who won the Clement Hirsch Stakes recently at Del Mar, 9-5 favorite in the distaff now that Torpedo Anna has been retired. And you talk about Nisos. Before Nisos, the winner of the Grade 2 San Diego, remember he did win the Grade 2 San Diego there at Del Mar, the 8-5 choice in the Dirt Mile against the defending horse winner there.
And that was supposed to be the race of the summer, if you remember, in the Pacific Classic, and he ended up scratching like a week before or whatever.
Yes.
And he disappeared from the work tab for a while, but then he came back, and supposedly he's working well. But who knows?
Supposedly he's working well. Did you see his San Diego? That was a solid win. He's okay. Yeah. He's ready to go, 8-5, and of course out of the Baffert barn. And then you have Explora, who is the 5-2 favorite in the juvenile fillies, and that looks like a right favorite too.
Well, Baffert has 2 horses in that race, and his other horse in that race should not be dismissed easily.
Oh, so a little tease for the seminar, huh? And the show tomorrow. Okay, good enough. Now, I want to remind everybody, Del Mar, they got big racing cards both on Friday and Saturday. The racing card at Del Mar on Friday will start at 11:35 a.m. Pacific time. On Saturday, 10:05 Pacific time. But these Breeders' Cup races are going to be enveloped, of course, around some of the races that other stakes races they'll have locally at Del Mar. So the first Breeders' Cup race on Friday is the 6th race on the card. It's the Juvenile Turf Sprint. And on Saturday, it's the 4th race on the card, the Filly Mare Sprint there. So that's how it shakes out there. So it'll be very interesting, I think.
Agree.
Okay. You know what? I'm trying to look for this. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Talking about the favorites. Now, we're talking about the favorites in the Breeders' Cup Classic. All right? 13 favorites have won the Breeders' Cup Classic in the 42 editions. 13 of them. Okay? And the White Barrio did it back in 2023. Flightline did it in 22. And then you had Accelerant in 18. You had American Pharaoh in 15. Zenyatta did it in 2009 before she got beat in 2010 by Blame. Is there some sort of a...
Gardener's outside the window, blowing the leaves.
All right, we'll try to get by there. We'll try to get by. I mean, what do you got, a rose garden out in your place? I mean...
I have no idea.
All right, St. Liam was a favorite winner. Go Zapper in 2004. Aptitude, Skip Away, Cigar, AP Indy, Ali Sheba, and Ferdinand. Ali Sheba won the year after Ferdinand beat him. That was the year that it was in the dark at Churchill Downs. I know because I was there with Rich Eng. And it was also a cold day, too. But anyhow, those were the favorites. So you got 13 favorites winning out of 42 editions. So with the defection now of Sovereignty, it looks like it'll be hard-pressed to get the favorite to win this year.
Well, I don't even know who the favorite will be or what the price.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Probably go up 4-1. I was going to
ask you next, not so much of what you think the price on the favorite will be, but who do you think the favorite might be now that Sovereignty is gone?
It's close. I mean, you have Pletcher, who has fierceness in there. You have Baez in there, but Baez was a ridiculous 15-1 on the morning line. That was a bad morning line. Journalism 10-1. These are bad morning lines. Sierra Leone at 8-1. I mean, if you like Sierra Leone against Sovereignty, well, now you're going to get 3-1 or 7-2. I think Sierra Leone will probably be the favorite.
Well, you can't say that the morning line is a bad morning line because they do it with mathematics, as you know, the total there. And with the 6-5 out, they're going to adjust all the morning lines now. But, it's going to be an interesting race. Okay. I know that you are absolutely getting ready to get on a plane and come on out here, and you're going to be here hopefully by showtime. I want to remind everybody out there now, we're talking this is a horse racing show, but there is reality out there in politics and all that. Now, we've had a shutdown in this government for 26, 28 days, something like that. And being affected is the air traffic controllers and the plane flights. Now, there have been huge cancellations of the plane flights already because of this situation. Now, you're jumping on a plane that's supposed to leave at a certain time to get here at a certain time to make studio tomorrow for the show. But so we just want you to stay safe out there in your travel, and we'll understand that it's beyond our control if you don't make it.
We have a 4-hour window, Ralph. We're supposed to land around, I think, 12 or 11 tomorrow.
Yeah. Well,
you never know. Listen, a friend of mine texted me this morning. He's headed to San Diego, and he's number 27. His plane is number 27 on the runway to take off.
Oh, man.
I said, you should get there sometime tonight.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you talk about a 4-hour delay. There's been people out there for 4 days waiting to get on. So anyhow, we wish you all the best of luck. That's the first winner you'll cash if you get here on time, and we hope you do. But if you got a price horse, you got something for us today?
We do. The opener today at Churchill, 5.5 furlongs on the main track. I like the number 8 horse in here outrageously. A 4-year-old filly from the Blair Jordan barn, Edgar Morales aboard to ride. This filly's really in top form now. Either one of her last 2 races win this race and win it easily. Number 8, outrageously, wins today's opener out at Churchill Downs.
All right, Churchill Downs. Let me see. The scratches no late scratches have come in so far and at Equibase. So we'll just go with the race 1 at Churchill Downs. First race there at Churchill. And number 8, outrageously, is your pick. And, of course, you got a full sheet for Churchill Downs right now. And we will hopefully see you here live and in person tomorrow.
I look forward to it. Thank you, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right, you got it, my man. Now we're going to go to the Rampart, where Dwayne Colucci is standing by. And Colucci, he'll be here in studio with us tomorrow. And all he has to do is get by all of those detours and the construction cones out there from one side of the city to the other. Good morning, Dwayne.
Good morning, Ralph. There's more orange cones than there are humans here in Las Vegas. Everybody jokes about that. So I'll make it to South Point, Dealers facility, and really look at you.
Okay, we're having a little problem with your feed here, but we'll try to endure. Your thoughts about the effect that Sovereignty is going to have on the Breeders' Cup Classic?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting who becomes the favorite now, like you guys were just talking about, Ralph. And, Bill Mott is doing the best thing for the horse. Obviously, you travel across country. I was kind of skeptical of why the horse was at Saratoga for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he should have brought the horse to Del Mar a lot sooner. That is a very tough travel, and the climate change is so drastic. And, it's not shocking that something like this happened, but Bill Mott is doing the best thing for the horse. Maybe Fierceness will be the favorite. Who knows? I mean, every horse has a chance in this race, in my opinion. Maybe Forever Young, he might take some sneaky money. He's been the buzz horse, but it's going to be a great Breeders' Cup Classic, one of the best in years and years, and I'm really looking forward to this card.
Yeah, I know that we really take a hit with the Sovereignty being out of there, because he's the horse that, of course, people wanted to see if he can be beaten by this stellar field of horses. But even at that, this is a deep and competitive Breeders' Cup Classic. I have no idea who's going to be the favorite. And to be perfectly honest with you, I really don't have any idea of how I'm going to construct my bet there, except for the fact that I don't think I can bet a win bet and really, get it down to one horse to bet on. I think I'm going to be doing, boxes here and there.
Yeah, definitely superfecta boxes, using the cross race wages as well. I'll be going, pretty deep in this race. It's hard pressed to pick a winner and to make a win bet and feel confident with this field. I mean, it's just so stacked, and nobody's even talking about Mindframe and Sierra Leone, who are two dominant 4-year-olds.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Mindframe had a lot of trouble in that last race. I read was grabbing onto a White Barrio to try and kick back on the horse. So, this is going to be a great, great classic, top to bottom. The 3-year-old crop, even though you don't have Sovereignty, you got Journalism and Baeza, who are two monsters. So what a great, great field. And, it's going to be so exciting, even despite Sovereignty not running in this race.
Yeah, and, I got to tell you, you talk about, Sierra Leone and like a horse like Fierceness. Now, I know they were very upset, not so much upset, but really concerned about Fierceness drawing the one post again, because as you know, in the Pacific Classic, he almost made a left turn with the auxiliary railing coming out of the starting gate before they made it to the main track in front of the grandstand for the first time. Now, the starting gate is going to be in the same place because it's also a mile and a quarter on the main there at Del Mar. But maybe now that John Velasquez realizes that the horse might do something, he might be ready for it. But the horse won from post 1 at a mile and a quarter last time at Del Mar, and there's not too many people talking about him either. That's what I'm saying. It's just going to be a great race. The only thing we do know for sure, that whatever your final decision is on whoever you bet, you're going to get a square price on them. That we know for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And Fierceness definitely has a chance. He did make that little turn, but Johnny V will be, way more hip to what's his surroundings now.
I think he'll be ready for it this time. Whether he can control it or not's another thing, but I think he'll be ready for it. That's for sure. Hey, Dwayne, we got a lot to talk about on the show, and you'll be with us tomorrow at 3 o'clock here on the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube, the Race Day Las Vegas Breeders' Cup Special. You'll be here with a staff of other handicappers. We're going to get into the Breeders' Cup Classic, and then any other race that you, the handicappers, each one of you, find the most intriguing one that you could bet or play on or want to talk about as well. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow. But Dwayne, we got to build up that Breeders' Cup bankroll. So what are we doing today?
Well, we got a little Churchill action, so we might as well dip in today. Race 3, I'm looking at the 8, My King Air, Morales-Hartman combination. We should get a square price. I know the track is sloppy, so keep your eye on that. But the horse has good breeding. He should be coming from behind, and he is dropping from $50,000 to $20,000 level. So this should be his right level. He made up a lot of ground last time, first off a layoff. I definitely think he'll make some noise in this race, and we're going to finally cash a ticket, as we've been knocking on the door, but this one we're going to cash.
All right, you got it, my man. That's why I want that confidence, that Breeders' Cup week confidence going on there. Churchill Downs, race 3, number 8, My King Air, the 8 in the 3rd at Churchill Downs. And don't forget, Dwayne's going to have big stuff going on up there at the Rampart, and he'll be with us tomorrow here on set for the special show as well. Thanks a lot, Dwayne.
Appreciate it, Ralph. Thank you.
All right, you got it, my man. All right, we're going to go to a break, and then when we come back, Rich Eng is standing by. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans.
Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you.
Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting T2T.org.
Are you ready to lock in your bets and cash in on the games this weekend? Get weekly football winners from Alex White, Chris Andrews, and Vinny Magliulo.
I did take the dog 3.5.
I'm going to stay with the Colts here. That's definitely going to be one of my plays.
If the Bears have turned the corner, they have to take care of business in this game.
Yes.
Tune in for behind-the-book perspectives you won't find anywhere else.
Well, if you're looking to bet the under, you're going to get a better number.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
I know if it hits 7, don't blink. Maybe that's what bettors are waiting for.
Every NFL matchup, every college game that matters, the spreads, the stats, and the smart money plays.
Is there a way to bet against both teams?
Get your winning edge with Football Frenzy, streaming on YouTube every Friday at noon Pacific.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Don't forget Sports by the Book right here at the South Point Streaming Network, where you see us right now at 10 o'clock this morning. I'm going to be back to join the guys and the gal there. Of course, Alex White, she heads it up. And we'll be doing a little horse race talking on Sports by the Book. I'm sure after the discussion of the World Series and how that thing has been going back and forth. But we'll be talking about the Breeders' Cup there on Sports by the Book at 10 a.m. today, Pacific time. So get saddle up, and we'll see you then there as well. And now we go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, all I got to say is, it's crunch time now. And it's really disappointing that Sovereignty had a scratch for having a fever.
Well, one thing I like to say is horses are only human, Ralph, meaning they're like us, flesh and blood and bones. And, they have good days and bad days. They can get sick just like us, catching a cold or something, and they can get hurt. And, it's part of the game. Horse racing there's a lot of disappointments, but the thing is, it makes you enjoy the highs a lot more because you've got to ride the wave of emotions. And I know the folks with Sovereign are very disappointed, but he's a great animal, and I guess he's probably going to go on to a new career, Ralph. And God bless, we'll be seeing his sons and daughters running in a couple of years.
Well, Sovereignty worked 4 furlongs on Monday at Del Mar. And they knew something was up because he never made it to the track on Tuesday morning. And then they found out later that he pitched a fever between Monday night and Tuesday. Now, Mott said a horse's normal temperature is 101. Sovereignty's temperature got as high as 103 before he was treated, and that was at 6 o'clock Tuesday morning when he didn't go out to the racetrack. And Mott said they were gonna look and keep monitoring him, etc., treat him, and to see if the temperature went down. It didn't, and he scratched him this morning officially. So he did the right thing by the horse, that's for sure. The Breeders' Cup is still going to be great, and you've got Breeders' Cup, 2 Breeders' Cup editions of handicapping on the racedaylasvegas.com websites, don't you?
Yeah, I finished up day 1, went through the card yesterday, Ralph, and I'll be doing day 2 today and have that done by the end of tonight, and then they'll be posted not only at brisnet.com, but at the racedaylasvegas.com website on my homepage, Ralph.
All right, you got it, Richie. And, of course, you be the man to make sure they get those racing forms for Friday and Saturday at Del Mar, the Breeders' Cup official racing forms those 2 days as well. So you got a lot on your plate, my man. And I know you're handicapping Del Mar as well, but it's not running today. But I think you might have a pick for us today.
Well, I scoured the simulcast landscape, Ralph. It's a little slim pickings, but I found one horse I'm going to give a shot at Parks in the second race. It's a 2-turn optional claimer, 16,000. Horse is dropping way down in class is the number 6. Tested from Lindsay Schultz, who's a very, very good trainer. I think part of her strategy is the fact that if nobody claims this horse, you open up a lot of conditions for an animal like this. Lots of back class. Jose Vargas rides. Number 6, Tested in the second.
I do believe this might be the first time we've ever had a selection at Parks Racing outside of the big Pennsylvania Derby day. And so we'll go down to Parks in the second race today at Parks. You like number 6, Tested, and we hope his test proves to be positive in this case. In the second race, the 6 Tested, Richie's play, trying to build us a Breeders' Cup bankroll. And Richie, I know that we have football this week as well. And by the way, it's turning out to be one heck of a World Series.
Yeah, the Blue Jays with a very courageous win yesterday, Ralph. Both pitchers, Bieber and Otani, pitched great, but the Dodger bullpen let them down again, Ralph. So now we're 2-2 going into Game 5 tonight.
All right, you got it, my man. And then we all know it's a best of 7, so we'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on what's going on in college and pro football. And, of course, front and center is the Breeders' Cup this week, our Super Bowl and our World Series coming up, the Breeders' Cup Championships on Friday and Saturday. Thanks a lot, Richie. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right. I think I'm going to blow off that last commercial and go right into Southern California, where John Lindo is standing by in the epicenter of everything that's going on this week for sure in horse racing. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing a little better than Sovereignty. Is the scuttlebutt, when did the news travel, and what did you think when you heard it?
Well, these kind of things happen. As simple as that. He worked fine on Monday. I got a chance to watch the work, and big, robust horse. He's just beautiful. And apparently spiked the temperature Monday night. And then, they treated him a little bit Tuesday morning, but he spiked the temperature again yesterday afternoon. So at that point, they had to treat him with antibiotics, and that put him out of the Classic. Don't know yet if he will run next year as a 4-year-old. They'll get him healthy, and they'll decide what to do. I'm just, as a racing fan, I'm really disappointed I don't get to see the best 3-year-old of a good crop of 3-year-olds against a good crop of older horses. As a horse owner, good for Bill Mott. Do right by your horse, and they'll do right by you.
Yeah, and we lose the strike point. I mean, the horse that everybody has to try to beat in that race. But still, all in all, when you take a look at the body of the race after that, it's one heck of an accomplished field of horses.
Oh, it's still a terrific field of horses, and I do have the new morning line if you want that, Ralph.
Sure. Why don't you lay it on us? From the Rail Out, and the one will be Fierceness.
The one Fierceness is 5-2 now on David Aragona's line. Number 2 Baeza now 10-1. 3 Nevada Beach 20-1. Number 4 Contrary Thinking 50-1. Number 5 Forever Young 7-2. Scratch number 6 Sovereignty. Number 7 Sierra Leone 7-2. Number 8 Mindframe 6-1. Number 9 Journalism 5-1. And number 10, Antiquarian, 10-1. That's the new morning line from David Aragona, the morning line maker.
Okay, and the favorite is, again?
On the rail, Fierceness is the 5-2 morning line favorite.
Well, we all know what Fierceness did from the rail, going 1.25 miles the last time he was at Del Mar. But having known that, I guess it was kind of a good way of, knowing it at that time rather than in the big race. And I'm sure John Velasquez will be well aware of this time around.
Well, and they set about 60 feet of new plastic piping along that inner rail to reinforce that for this race. So they learned something from the summer, and they've done a little reinforcement, and it's a good thing with Fierceness drawing the rail.
John, now, of course, Sovereignty out with the fever, but we all, as handicappers, are looking in the morning hours now that they're trying to keep all these horses nice and happy. All the prep work as far as the workouts and the fitness and all that is done. Now they're just trying to keep them happy and, without, knocking down the stall, waiting to get out to do something. And we know that there'll be schooling in the paddock and so forth in the next couple of days as well. But, one of the things that I always thought that was valuable, I think, is how the horses look on the racetrack, not the ones that look great. They're all supposed to look great at this point in time, but any horses of any concern of how they look on the track in the morning to you.
Yeah, but we don't have time now. We'll do it on the 3 o'clock show tomorrow. How's
all
that?
right, you got it. Tease it. I love it. You're going to tease it away. That's what we're going to take a look at, some of the horses that may not look like they're ready to, do the deal. All right. Well, I know that you don't have a pick today, do you? No, right?
No. I'm just doing Del Mar this week. I got my hands full with all the other stuff going on. So been at the track every morning and, just trying to catch up.
All right. You got it, John. Safe travels, and we'll see you here in studio tomorrow at 3 o'clock for the special show.
Looking forward to it, Ralph. We'll see you then.
And you will send us, hopefully, a pick for tomorrow's show in the morning, though, right?
I will have a radio play for you. I'll email it to you for the opening day at Del Mar tomorrow.
All right. You got it, my man. Thanks a lot. We're going to go to Jerry Jackowitz. He's got the whole minute and a half left to tell us whatever he wants. Jerry, are you finally getting to work on the Breeders' Cup races?
I am. I happen to have it right in front of me right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at the Breeders' Cup Classic as the first race. It's like eating dessert before
the main menu. Yeah, before the main event. How much does Sovereignty Scratch do for your adjustments?
Well, I mean, it makes the race. It makes the race, much more even. Much more. Everybody has a better chance without Sovereignty.
So it's
just such a superior mile and a quarter horse that you just.
So you think it's much more competitive with him out of it then, right?
Yeah, competitive is a way of saying, well, the main horse in here now becomes Fierceness, who I don't think he's ever lost on the West Coast, and ran a bad race, I should say. And the one time he got beat last year at Del Mar, he had an awful trip in the Breeders' Cup. He was really wide on a very strong lead, and just took the worst of it all the way around. Got a little tired at the very end. But then we saw him run at Del Mar at the Pacific Classic, where he was just very relaxed and ran really well. So something about the West Coast that really seems to, really favor
people are the same way. Some of them really like down the beach at Del Mar. Anyhow, we're going to have you longer tomorrow extensively to talk more about this, but we're running out of time, and we always want you to have enough time to say what you're going to say, so say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.